If you've been scrolling through endless lists of shop floor lifts, watching video after video trying to tell the difference between a light-duty and a heavy-duty gantry, you're probably wondering whether any of them actually solve the real problem you have getting a 2,000-pound load from the floor up to a comfortable working height without turning your workshop into a construction site. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'm going to walk through why the Vestil HA288 aluminum adjustable height gantry crane might be the answer, and where it could leave you wishing you'd spend a little more time measuring your own needs first. The biggest hesitation most buyers have is the fear of buying a crane that either can't lift the weight they need or that will be a nightmare to move around once it's set up. You've probably seen the glossy marketing images, a sleek silver frame for casters that swivel, a telescoping column that looks like it could be raised with a hand crank. What you don't see in those shots is the day-to-day choreography of loading a motor, rolling the crane over a concrete floor with a forklift, and then adjusting the height while you're trying to keep a tight deadline. Those hidden trade-offs are what separate a decent tool from a true workhorse. First, let's talk about the core of what makes a gantry crane useful in a shop or small manufacturing environment. You need a structure that can span the width of your work area, a stable base that distributes the load, and a lift mechanism that is both strong enough and easy enough to operate without specialized training. The Vestil HA288 checks those boxes on paper. An 8-foot wide, 8-foot maximum usable height frame made from heavy-duty welded aluminum, rated for 2,000 pounds, and equipped with 4 swivel glass-filled nylon casters that claim 4-way positioning. The aluminum keeps the overall weight of the crane itself down, which is why you can actually move it with a standard fork truck instead of needing a dedicated crane mover. In practice, that aluminum construction means the crane is surprisingly light for its capacity. When you roll it onto a shop floor, the casters glide smoothly on smooth concrete, and the 4-way swivel lets you orient the crane without having to lift or reposition the whole frame. I've seen fabricators use a similar setup to lift a 1,800 pounds hydraulic press onto a maintenance platform, then swivel the entire rig 90 degrees to align with a workbench. The glass-filled nylon casters are a nice touch because they don't dent the floor like steel wheels can, and they're quieter than rubber when you're moving the crane back and forth during a long shift. Height adjustment is where the AHA288 really shows its value. The design lets you raise or lower the boom with a standard fork truck or any overhead lifting device you already have in the shop. You don't need a separate electric winch or a hydraulic pump. Just hook the fork onto the lifting eye, raise the column to the desired height, and lock it in place. For a small to mid-size operation that already owns a forklift, that simplicity translates into lower upfront cost and less maintenance. The ability to adjust from floor level up to 8 feet means you can accommodate everything from heavy palletized parts to awkwardly shaped assemblies that need a higher work plane. Now, who should actually buy this crane? If you run a small metal fabrication shop, a woodworking shop that occasionally handles large panels, or a maintenance department that needs to move engines or large equipment occasionally, the AHA288 hits a sweet spot. Its 2,000 pounds capacity covers most medium-sized jobs, and the 8-foot span is wide enough to clear most workbenches while still fitting through standard double-door openings. The fact that it complies with CMAA and ANSI specifications adds a layer of confidence for safety-conscious managers who need to document compliance during audits. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to walk away. If you routinely lift loads above 2,000 lb, think automotive frame assemblies, large turbine components, or bulk metal coils, the crane simply isn't rated for that stress. Likewise, if your floor is uneven, covered in heavy debris, or you work on a rubberized mat that doesn't play well with nylon casters, you'll find the mobility compromised. The adjustment process, while straightforward, still requires a forklift or a similar lifting device. If you don't already own one, you're looking at an extra capital expense that could negate the crane's low price point. Finally, because the frame is made of aluminum, it isn't as rigid as a steel gantry. For tasks that demand absolute zero deflection under load, you might notice a bit of flex at the ends of the 8-foot span. Practical strengths that stand out after the first week of use are the combination of portability and capacity. A colleague of mine in a regional warehouse used the crane to lift a 1,900 pounds HVAC unit onto a mezzanine level. He appreciated that he could roll the crane right up to the loading dock, lift the unit with his existing forklift, and then